G'day guys and gal, Necromunda. If you're a 40k fan, you've probably heard about it, mostly because GW seems really insistent on making video games about it. The first one, Hive Wars, seemed a bit shit to me. Like, is there actually a market for turn-based shooters? I'm confused. The second game, coming out however, seems to have really learnt from the first one, and actually looks pretty solid. But that still doesn't really answer what Necromunda is. Is it a planet? Is it a culture? Or is it a futuristic way to violate corpses? Before we get started, another video, another chance to plug the Majorkill minis. It's been awesome to see you guys getting these painted. Just look at this dude by Dr. Wiener. Easily the best model out there to lead your space elves for sure. Just geese some of these reviews. The Majorkill Terminator Lord is also still available, and I'm loving the cheeky kit bashes you guys are throwing at him. All the prices on the website are in Australian, so if you're in the US, UK, or Europe, you're pretty much getting a 25 to 40% discount off the bat. And yes, it ships worldwide, no worries. Anyone who paints and sends me a picture of their MK Mini will have it featured in future videos on the Discord server and on the website, so get it while it's hot. Today we'll go over what Necromunda is and why GW has a stiffy for it. We'll go over its history, its importance, and why there's so many gangs going bang. Let's get into it. Necromunda is a big ass planet with way too many people on it. You would think that a planet had some kind of population limit, but judging by Necromunda's population of over 100 billion, I guess that doesn't really apply. As you can expect for a planet with that many people on it, it's a pretty shit place to live, where the environment and natural resources are completely depleted. Shit makes China look like a wildlife sanctuary. There is also an extreme class divide, with the rich being able to enjoy food imported from off-world, and the poor having to basically recycle and eat their own shit. Really not sure why the people of Necromunda are so insistent on mass breeding when they're bringing up their children into this hellhole. It wasn't always this shit however. Necromunda used to be called Arrhenius Prime, and was an advanced world from the Dark Age of technology. It survived the Age of Strife very much intact, and had some advanced cool stuff, warships, and the ability to produce and use condoms. Something current day Necromunda could really benefit from. When the Imperium came knocking during the Great Crusade, the Lord of Anarius Prime and the surrounding system told the Emperor to eat a dick, and that he was welcome to become a vassal of Anarius Prime. Yeah look, probably not the smartest call by the Tech Lord. As such, 20,000 Imperial Fists with a shitload of Guardsmen attacked the system and dominated it. It only took a short while before the Techno Lords surrendered, and Anarius Prime and the surrounding area now belong to the Imperium. Easy peasy. Until it fucking wasn't! Out of nowhere came a random Xeno army that turbo-raped everything. All the planets were lost except for Anarius Prime by the time the Xenos were fought off. Anarius Prime itself had been sodomized hard. It was now a wasteland full of death and destruction. Not exactly a prime place to be, hence it was renamed Necromunda. Now generally one would assume that after this, Necromunda's population would plummet, or that the world would be abandoned, but no. Necro, as I call it because I'm lazy, was a powerhouse of manufacturing weapons and armor for the Imperium's armies, and after literally rising from the ashes, the people of Necro continued to serve this purpose. When the last of their natural resources were gone, and there was trash and scrap everywhere, they began to turn that scrap into resources and became hectic recyclers. I mean, if they did that a bit earlier, maybe their lives wouldn't be so terrible, but better late than never, eh? Such a fat population also allows Necromunda to churn out a shitload of Guardsmen, hardened from their years of living like a sardine. As expected, these Guardsmen are more or less gang members that sometimes salute. The planet is covered in thousands of Hive cities, which are like megacities, but more mega. Due to its size and savagery, the Imperium has allowed Necromunda to kind of self-govern itself, as long as it remains loyal and pays its taxes. There's a huge medieval-esque hierarchy system, where the basic bitches serve a local leader who answers to a representative of a powerful family, who makes up an alliance of different powerful families, who answer to the head figure of that family, who finally takes orders from Lord Gerontius Hellmaurer. Jerry, as I call him, is the supreme ruler of all of Necromunda, as his family before him has been for 7,000 years. Whilst all the other lesser families of Necromunda basically kiss his ass for support, he just kinda chills out and does whatever he wants, as long as the Imperium is happy. Jerry isn't the only player on Necro though. The Imperial Fist maintain a permanent presence on Necro and use it as a recruiting world, whilst various gangs control the underworld of the Palatine, which is the main hive of Necro. Along with the Imperial Fist, there are a few other unsavory characters that lurk on Necro. With such a big planet, it was only a matter of time before the Genestealer cult emerged and begun to grow. One good thing about having a gigantic population is that recklessly nuking your own planet to kill some Genestealers is actually a viable solution, hence those cultists got a bit of a rude awakening. Whilst the vast majority of them died in nuclear fire, a few thousand escaped, but were not unscathed. Radiation plus Genestealer equals abomination. Hence now Necro had genuine monsters stalking its underhives, like more genuine than a normal Genestealer. Shit's terrifying. There is life beyond the hives however. The life just isn't very good, but it's there. Some Necro residents choose to move to and live on the sludge seas, which are where the oceans used to be, but are now just toxic swamps. Somehow these swamps actually prove to be fertile environments, you know, as long as you love eating mushrooms. Another option is to live in the Forbidden Cities, which are basically just big ass opium dens. For some reason, the people of Necro like to snort powdered corpses for fun, and now there are huge underground secret cities where everyone just kinda does this. Yeah look, each to their fucking own. It gets worse however. There are various slums and shanties that surround each hive city. As the world of Necro is so toxic, a hive city is pretty much the only place where you won't immediately develop cancer. As such, these shanty towns are full of sick and dying people. Whenever a bad storm rips past, generally the shantytown will be destroyed, and many of its people will die. The survivors will then often find themselves culled by local militias who are claiming to be doing population control, when in reality, I think they just want to kill some cancer patients. Then of course, there is rock bottom, that being the Ash Raiders, who are mutants that roam the wildy. As the world is so toxic, anyone out of a hive city is in strife, hence the Ash Raiders, called this because of their love of Pokemon combined with their obsession with raiding shit, have adapted to the strife and almost seem immune to all the horrible Necro things. I mean, I guess they're pretty horrible themselves, so immune might be the wrong word here. Now, the writers at GW, in all their wisdom, decided to refer to the gangs of Necro as ganger houses. In Australia, ganger means slut, so I got a good chuckle out of all the slut houses, aka brothels, that compete for power in the underhive of Necromunda. These gangers, including House Cawdor, who are a bunch of religious nuts that hunt down rogue psychers, heretics and mutants, much to the ecclesiarchy's pleasure, House Delacqui, who like assassinating people and just look like a bunch of rapists, House Escher, who are a good example of unchecked rampant feminism, House Goliath, who are a good example of unchecked rampant toxic masculinity, House Orlok, who like mining or some shit, House Van San, who are like a bunch of tech wizards who build advanced technology and sell it, making them probably the most approachable and useful of the gangers. These houses will enter into conflict and sometimes full-blown war with each other over resources, or you know, gender disputes. So why does GW have such a microscope over these guys? 2 games in like 1 year is a fair amount. Well, Necromunda is like a spin-off skirmish game of 40k, where you can play as one of the gangs in like a compressed version of a 40k match. I don't play tabletop, and I ain't gonna splash out $90 for a fucking rulebook to find out. Necro also gives GW a unique opportunity to kinda go down a gritty techno steampunk theme for a bit without having to create a new IP. It means they can make shit within their universe which doesn't involve a space marine. The upcoming game, Necromunda Hired Gun, shows this off. Like, you pretty much would not be able to tell this is from 40k unless you knew the lore, and I reckon that's the vibe they were going for. Hired Gun actually looks decent, so I back them on this one. Necromunda is a very grim place, with not a whole lot of happy things going on. Despite this, it has a surprisingly low infant mortality rate. Either that, or everybody just loves fucking. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be, where only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more necrophiliac content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.